Hey, what's up, everybody? We're about to start soon. Just gonna start out with the intro, get the party going, get this live stream going. So let's go ahead and start. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Canal Black Man Travels. That's Black Man Travel with an A. Definitely decided to do a last minute podcast on a particular topic that just happened this past weekend in Cartagena, Colombia, and I felt like I wanted to talk about this before anyone else does. I know that right now this is a hot topic right now all over social media. This particular act actually went viral to the point where the country mayor of Cartagena is completely embarrassed by this antic. So just in case you guys don't know what happened, I do have video which I want to share with you guys. And basically, fellow brother from New York, and I got sources. He's from New York. Decided to go ahead and have sex on the balcony, which is located near the clock tower. And if anyone who has been to Cartagena, clock tower is like the centralized area where people come together and really mingle. But this particular hotel stay is literally on the main street, on the second floor, right near the clock tower. And this particular act actually got everyone attention. So before I go any further, I want to definitely show you guys the video. Keep in mind it is graphic, but and I assume that this is adults watching this show. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be censored by this or not, but it's good enough for me to post on Facebook, so I assume that should be okay having it on YouTube. I actually posted the same video on my YouTube short, and so far it's getting a lot of views. So definitely want to get this conversation going. And we have an interesting topic. Interesting topic. I definitely want to talk about the disrespectful behavior while overseas. Right now, we have a lot of us traveling now, which is amazing. It's great to see Black folks traveling to various countries. However, there's a segment of folks who feel the need that you know what they don't need to abide to any rules, any culture, any norms, so they feel like they can do the fuck they want. And as a traveler, I find that to be somewhat disrespectful. I think if you're traveling to someone home, vice versa, their country, you got to show some level of respect, decorum, and just appreciation that like you're there to learn more about the people, but yet still have a great time. Now, granted, I'm all about having a good time, fellas. Like I am. I'm all about turning up, have a great time, do what you want to do while you're there. Pretty much, whatever is done in that particular country stays in that particular country. But we live in a society now that everything is being watched and being recorded. So you have to be mindful how you move and how you do things. So before I go on, definitely want to open the line up to other members who want to join the conversation. Please feel free to jump in. I want this to be a group conversation as we discuss this particular topic. I just pasted the sorry, the StreamYard link onto the comment section. If you guys want to join the conversation, please feel free to do so. This is an audio podcast, so there's no need to show your video. I mean, show your face. But no further ado, let's go ahead and highlight this particular video. I'll be sharing my screen, and we're gonna have some conversation around this. All right, so here's the video. This is the group called Black Man Travels, the group that I actually started on Facebook group. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, please let me know. I'll definitely will screen you and invite you into the group. But this is the particular video that happened this past Friday, and I do have the latest update on what happened to this man and the aftermath. So go ahead and rewind this video, blow it up. Here you go. Señores y señora, lo que vemos en el centro son nosotros. Señores y señora, lo que vemos en el centro son nosotros. So basically, someone is literally having sex on the balcony, and as you saw it, is definitely on a busy street. On the main street is that, and they're on the second floor. Now, I'm all about living your fantasy, doing the things you want to do, but there's a time and place for everything. Let me go back to the video. There's a time and place for everything, and I feel that yes, you want to live your fantasy. You want to do things you never done back home, so why not just do it overseas? Totally understand that, and if anything, I encourage it. However, pick the time and place to do it. Doing something like this on the second floor on a busy street where kids, families, and adults are walking around on the main street of Cartagena within the old city. This is not the best way to conduct yourself, especially as a foreigner, but also as a black man. We already have a sore black eye and how people perceive us here in this country within the United States, but also in other countries. Typically, black men, we tend to always get a negative perception. Like people assume that we're this or we're that. And it's not always the case. A lot of us are actually traveling for the culture, traveling for the experience, traveling for, just getting outside of the US. However, there's a small segment of men and women who are traveling for other reasons. And again, I'm not trying to knock anyone and why they travel. If anything, I'm happy that you are, but conduct yourself as follow. Doing something like this is completely out of line, embarrassing, but also too is just uncalled for. And I was able to actually get the latest update on this individual, as I've mentioned before, from an inside source. This person is from the United States, from New York, and they were able to actually catch this guy. Nothing really bad happened to him besides him paying a fee up to $1,000. So they were able to catch up with him. They brought him in, and they really couldn't arrest him, like far as putting him in jail or whatever. So what they did, and made him pay the fine up to $1,000. Now the question is, if he paid for it or he had assistance in doing that, I don't know. But based on my inside source, they were stating that they did catch up with the guy. The lady is from Colombia. She's not American. Only the guy is, and he had to pay up to $1,000 in fine. So that's about it. But I wanted to like really talk about this and understand, like, why do we feel the need to act a certain way in another country when we don't do certain things back home? Now, granted, if you are doing this back home, more power to you. But whenever you outside the US, it's important that we put our best foot forward. No matter where we are, either be, a developing country, a Western country, a third world country, conduct yourself accordingly. So I was able to pull some old videos on some of the fuckery behavior that I've able to witness over my travel years. And I just want to share that with you guys. And then just like, and really open the floor. Is this something that we could actually continue to move this way? Let me see. Let's go through this. Now, this is a video this happened during COVID. I remember this particular video, but this guy here. Now, this happened in Cartagena as well. It's another brother. I don't know where he's from, but he felt the need to start a music video with his walk on hand boombox. Basically, he was throwing pesos up in the air. And the thing is, everyone knows a lot of people in Cartagena don't really have the money like that, at least of the disposable income to live the life that this guy's living. So he felt the need to just go ahead and just throw tons of pesos up in the air and watch these people fight for it. And as you can see, people were literally bumping and running each other over just to get the dollars. Here's another round of video. Now, as you can see, someone could literally get hurt here as everyone's trying to fight to get the pesos. Women, children, men are literally shoving, pushing each other, hitting the floor just to get a peso. And this guy is recording the entire experience and dancing at the same damn time. And again, I don't know where this guy's from. All I know, I see a black man. The black man could be a local or he could be a foreigner. However, he's a black man. And I think, again, when people see this, they have a perception of what a black man is, so his behavior. And again, I could be wrong, but the fact that he took the time to actually create this, purposely go to the bank, get the money, walk on the street, which is Cartagena. This is within the old city, and start throwing money in the air and watch people fight for it as he's dancing around this foolishness. See, again, dude's dancing, got his portable speaker, got his lovely woman next to him, but he's throwing the money in the air and everyone's waiting for it. And again, you probably got someone grandmother in this group trying to get the pesos. And again, this is Cartagena. A lot of people there do not have the disposable income to do the things that you're doing. So any free money they could get, they'll definitely take it. But for you to just do that and make fun of the situation while recording it and dancing is basically distasteful and embarrassing. All right. That's one video. Let's flow to another video. This particular video here. This happened last year. These are two brothers from the States. They decided to do something stupid and literally choked the girl on the floor. Now, regardless if they were, regardless of the situation, either she stole money from him or not, this is uncalled for. This received a lot of backlash from the locals, but also from the international community. And as men, we look down upon on this behavior because, again, regardless of the situation, man, either she stole your money, stole your watch, or whatever, she didn't deserve to be treated this way. So, but again, there's some of the behavior that we see and hear constantly on how some brothers are actually behaving. Again, not all, it's just some, a small percentage. But it's just another black eye on our perception. Now, again, it's not always black folks. Our counterparts actually do the foolishness as well. Actually, I mean, just now, as you can see, they throwing American dollars, making it rain from the roof on the second floor of the club. Now, again, it's not always the black man is always doing this. Sometimes it's other foreigners, particularly Americans, that decide to do this type of foolishness. Again, they on the inside club where they're throwing dollars in the air and people are fighting for it. Now we know all damn well these folks don't have that type of money back home to be doing this foolishness. And I always notice that it's not the people with wealth and money that throw their money in there like that. It's always the working class or the middle class folks trying to show their wealth to people that are less than them. So, hey, why not just make it rain on the people? Yep, that's just one. Again, guys, there's more than one behavior.
Talk to me nice.
Oh, hey, this is gonna be
Talk to me
funny.
nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me. Talk
Some
to
of
me.
that.
Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Sorry.
Demon.
Huh? Demon.
Demon.
Demon. Talk to me.
All right.
Talk to me.
Let me show you guys again. Sorry about that. I kind of experienced a little issue here, but let me get a backdrop of the story here. These two guys decided to go to the bank and exchange and withdraw a lot of cash. And this is in Medellin, I believe. Yeah. And they felt the need to advertise the amount of money they have on social media. So let me see if I can play this video. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Demon.
Huh?
Demon.
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 Demon. Talk to me.
Demon.
Talk to me.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk
Now, after he did this video,
to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me nice.
Some of this.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Some of this.
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Talk to me.
Huh?
Demon.
Huh?
Demon.
Demon.
Talk to me. Demon.
Demon.
sorry about that, guys. Kind of experienced a little difficulty there. But let's just reload this again. So all right. So after he did his video here, broadcasting to the world, especially in Medellin, that he had all this money, he actually got robbed. Yep, he got robbed. Somehow someone found his location. They went to his place and they robbed him. Yep, they robbed him. Then he actually requested to get some a GoFundMe to get back home. So by him advertising his whereabouts, of course, he probably put his location, which hotel or apartment he's staying in, probably the hotel, and he was advertising the amount of money he had with him at that moment. A few locals decided to stop by and pay him a visit, and guess what? They talked to him, all right. They sure had a long conversation with him where they took his money. So let me stop sharing. So it's just something crazy, man. This so the behavior what a lot of guys are doing is just wow. I mean, you think that you leave in the States, which we call the matrix, to escape the foolishness that goes on, but yet you bring that same behavior, that same bullshit with you. And I've always told people straight up, the matrix is not a country, it's a mindset. No matter where you go, if you have that matrix mindset, that matrix is going to be there with you. So you could leave the United States, go to Europe, go to Brazil, go to South Africa. If you have that matrix mindset, that matrix will be there with you in that particular country. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of guys are bringing that same tactic that we decided to move away from to escape, and they bring it to these other countries. And again, flashing, being loud, making it rain. This is the American culture. That's not other people's culture. So now people are emulating this type of behavior, thinking that it's cool when it's not. So, I mean, it's just, again, I want to open the floor to you guys. I don't want to talk by myself, but this is what's going on. It's just like we have a lot of new brothers with passport that never travel in their life. And they think they could just go to these countries and conduct themselves a certain way without being touched. And one thing is, if anyone you guys have seen Locked Up Abroad, you could easily go to jail for the dumbest thing. And it's only so much that your dollar could get you out of trouble. So there's ways for you. When you travel, you need to conduct yourself in a certain manner. And there's certain things you don't do at home Don't do it overseas. There's a reason why you don't do it overseas. Because the thing is, if you get locked up, man, you're gonna be in there for quite a while. And trust me, they're gonna get money out of you. So that little antic behavior for you to go ahead and bust that nut on the second floor while everybody could watch you, was it worth it? Now, if you want to do that, I could recommend you a few places in Boca Grande where you could actually do that on a on the 30th floor with amazing beach view and city view. But on the second floor in the middle of the old city near Clock Tower, that's like the worst place to have this type of fantasy. And I think a lot of guys just need to walk around and carry themselves with more class. I totally agree with you, Marty. Traveling should be nurtured some class within a person. And we need more of that. But I think now we forgot being class, being more classy, being more professional. It's like now being hood and ghetto fab is embraced more than anything. So guys will go to certain environments in these countries so they could be around that same element, that hood, ghetto fab, that ghetto fabulous life. And it's not always recommended to do that. Like I said, I got more videos I could share with you guys. Let me see if I can share again. Now, this is Sosua, Dominican Republic. This guy, particularly here, he made the news. He made the news to the point where police had to come and protect him. He was walking around with a bag of dollars. So he decided to make it rain. Well, like while he's walking, he's throwing money up in the air. So you have all these group of people following him while he's doing this. But it got to the point that the crowd became so uncontrollable that the police had to come in and intervene and remove him from the situation. Now, when you do that, you instantly putting a mark on your back, and everyone's gonna know that you're the one that got money. And more than likely, the place that you're staying, especially in Sicily, probably doesn't have security. So you thinking that you could just go back home or continue to walk these streets and not get touched. I mean, these people out here in these countries, some of them are well off, some of them are not. But if you walking around as a walking target, like, hey, that's the guy that's throwing dollars in the air, that wrong brother, local brother is gonna see you and he's gonna try to make his move on you. And the thing is, a lot of guys do get robbed overseas. We don't want to talk about it, but a lot of us get robbed. A lot of us get, set up by the ladies of that country. But we don't want to, we don't want to admit that because it's kind of embarrassing. But when you draw so much attention to yourself with the jewelry, the flashy clothes, and the bag full of cash, trying to make it rain, you're just making yourself a target. And when once you're a target, someone's going to get you before you leave. So you got to be mindful of that. Now, this one here is a local Colombian. He actually lives there. I think he's from Cali, but he's still a brother. If I keep this on mute, you'd probably think he's speaking English, but he's speaking Spanish right now. Now, I'm all about giving back to the community, helping out the less fortunate, but there's a way you could do it without having a camera in front of you. Whenever I see guys put a camera in front of them to do good deeds, I don't consider that a good deed anymore. You're doing it for show. You're doing it for I think, clout nowadays. And it's just like there's no need for that. I mean, all that money he did, granted, yes, it benefited a lot of people, but I think someone probably got hurt down there, and that's the clock tower. And there's tons of people at the clock tower, and the fact that he had that amount of cash with him, throwing it from the rooftop, trust me, people were fighting for it. There's ways you could actually help the locals or help people out without doing any foolishness such as this. But hey, we live in an age where it's social media, everyone wants attention. So we'll do whatever it takes to grab that attention, just like the brother did having sex on the second floor. I'm not sure if he was on drugs. I'm not sure if he did it, on the, that was a fantasy, but there's ways you could actually do that. And as I said before, you could easily go to Boca Grande in Cartagena, stay up in the 25th, 30th, 39th floor, have amazing ocean view and city view while you're doing that. You don't have to do it on the second floor on a busy street within the old city right near the clock tower. Oh, here's another video here. So basically, it's a group of guys from the States. They're throwing dollars from the second floor, making it rain. And again, I think this has become a common thing at this particular club, Delirium, which is common now. I think now it became, people want to do that to show that, they're the big baller, the big player here. So when I was there in Cartagena in April, I was there for a wedding. A guy tried to do that, but I guess he didn't have a big wad of cash because the amount of money he threw wasn't that much. But it's becoming a culture now to stunt on people, and it's just like making it rain at this particular club and probably another one is common. So again, there's ways you could actually make yourself like you got money without doing this foolishness. But again, we bring our matrix behavior and mindset to other countries, and those countries adapt to it. So when I started going to Cartagena, it wasn't like this. I mean, honestly, it wasn't like that. Not too many Americans were going there. It was still considered, at the time, Colombia was still considered unsafe, but you didn't see this type of behavior. But now this is common. You see guys walking around with the pocketbook across their chest. Probably soon they got money in it. With the big jewelry on, the big gold watch, and everything, walking around the streets, and they keep forgetting that these people are hungry. You got a lot of people living way below their means, and they're starving. And you're walking around with all this. It doesn't take much for you to get drugged. And of course, in Colombia, Colombia is known to drug people. People tend to drug the locals and the foreigners to get them what they need to do. But that's another whole different topic that we could actually have. But again, this is another embarrassing moment where you feel the need to make yourself bigger than what you are. More than likely, you back home, you're probably not you're probably not this particular person that's making it rain like this. Yeah. So go back to oh snap. Hey, been a minute, man. How are you?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. I just dropped out for some reason. I was just on StreamYard and I can't see myself right now.
I can see you.
Oh, okay.
I can see you, but you don't need to cam up if you don't want, so it's all good.
No, I wasn't planning on it. I was going to stay off cam.
All right, go ahead, do that. But I can see you.
Okay. Mainly, man, I agree with you 100%. the biggest thing is a lot of dudes don't understand. I did a lot of traveling when I was in the Marine Corps. Okay. And I'm
Mhm.
talking overseas, third world countries, all that. We had a buddy system. You doubled and tripled up.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys are going overseas by themselves and thinking they just 100% safe. I'm talking Marines, trained killers, and you
Mhm.
doubling up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Right. So, you know, just because you're overseas and you're an American don't mean you're excluded from being taken advantage of in many ways.
Yeah, and I think too, we're bringing this macho. I understand every country has their own macho, the macho mindset, but we carry this
Correct.
level of arrogance that we think we're better than everybody else because we got dollars. I've heard guys say some foolish ass statements, hey, these people are beneath me. I'm like, beneath you? Like, bro, you make $10 an hour. Chill out, man. But in their mind, because they're overseas, they could just talk and treat people any way they want because they got a dollar. And I've seen that type of behavior.
Right.
And and it's becoming very common, even with sisters, man. They act the same certain manner overseas that I've seen. I'm like, damn well back home you probably get checked real quick. But the
Big
fact
time.
that this person needs your dollar, they're gonna tolerate you. And I think a lot of us we forget that they're tolerating us. Once they get tired of us, trust me, they'll they'll make sure they get their hands on us.
True
So
that.
I just want to get your take. I mean, what do you take on this whole sex on the balcony situation? I mean, that's drawing a lot of attention. Where the mayor actually commented on it, the police general commented on
When
it.
you travel, you should have some kind of code of ethics and some morals.
Yeah,
You are still a shining example of what America has to offer. You know, to me, it's not just about out there being mongering and losing your mind like you're in Las Vegas. You can't even do that in Vegas. What makes
yeah,
you think you can go over in a whole nother country where you're absolutely on a spotlight and do some craziness? It behooves me on how some men behave when they travel
yeah,
with no moral or no ethics whatsoever as they're conducting business, whether it be for mongering or other things. You know, hell, we don't take pictures like that. Never did, military or not. You leave those pictures behind. That's for your own personal memory.
mm-hmm,
But with the advent of the internet and flossing and wanting to showboat, a lot of people's information is just out there for the having. Keep some of that to yourself. That's why, unfortunately, the other cultures like white boys and everything else, they've been traveling for years, but you don't see them floating that stuff up on the internet.
no,
That was between them and their homies. Those are the only people that saw it, and only people can talk about it.
do you
You
think
know what I
because
mean?
well, do you think because black men are starting to travel more often now and have more accessible to these countries, they feel
I
the
think
need?
it's a privilege that the fact that we are able to travel now, we are becoming more savvy when it comes to international travel.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of the communities and a lot of us black people are actually moving and around the world and getting that love that we're getting. But at the same time, like you said, some of these guys are bringing America with them
Yeah,
and not being respectful of the laws, because at the end of the day, if you read that passport, you're still obligated to certain laws from the United States, care what country you're in.
I agree. But I think a lot of guys forget that because they think now I'm overseas, I can do whatever I want, how I want it. And again, I personally
Hmm.
seen the foolishness in DR, seen it in Colombia, seen it in Costa Rica, Brazil, where brothers like literally will lose their mind over flexing, for no apparent reason. And it's just
Right.
like I think too is the attention. I think people are so attention driven that they'll do whatever it takes to generate that attention. Now, especially with War Star and you know some of the other apps that people are using to
Right.
generate that attention, people are just not thinking straight. And I think like for that guy to do that on the second floor on a busy street, the girl was embarrassed because that was a Colombian, that was a local. And the
Mhm.
fact that everyone knows, everybody got, I mean, again, the city mayor is embarrassed by this. The police general is disgusted by it. Again, we're foreigners and we're doing this in front of their people. They take.
I mean,
They take.
did that come down to actually this guy being charged for public, something to do with being indecent exposure
Yeah.
or whatever? Did it come down to that?
Yeah, but the thing is, they didn't give him any jail time. So what they did, they gave him a fines up to $1,000, which they probably more than pocketed themselves. But it's just like, bro, next time get a higher
Find him,
floor.
and they should have fined him and kicked him out. Period.
Yeah,
You do certain things in certain countries, they'll escort you right to the airport.
yeah, I agree.
Thailand don't play that. You do certain things in Thailand, you're getting escorted, and then you're getting banned. You ain't coming back.
I mean, some countries you go to jail, then you get caned, then you get escorted.
Right.
I mean, there were several Americans in the past that did some really bad stuff with it overseas. They got punished for it. And if anyone's seen Lock Up Abroad, man,
Mm-hmm.
being in jail in these countries is like the worst place to be in jail. And I'd rather be in jail in Miami than be in jail in Colombia.
And the one female basketball player is starting to realize that herself. It don't
Oh wow!
matter.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk.
America means nothing when it comes to you breaking a law in their country. They're going to make an example of you strictly because you're an American.
Let's talk about that. Brittany Griner. The fact that of all people, you're getting on a commercial airlines with vapes that is illegal in that particular country.
Right.
You know exactly what you were doing. And now you're paying the consequences. And now like everyone's trying to, rally support even for LeBron James to help out. But I'm like, you should have known better.
Right.
You don't do that in the States. What makes you think you could do that overseas?
And here's the thing. She's an experienced traveler. She's traveled to that country multiple years in a row. She plays professional basketball in the league there. So you would think you should know the rules by now. Being absent-minded is not an excuse.
I agree.
And if you have such an issue that you need something like THC or something for pains or aches, put that in with the team coach, and I'm sure they'll work something out legally within their own country, paying somebody off or whatever. But you don't bring it into the country for the TSA officer or somebody else and immigration to find it on you. That's just dumb.
Yeah. But you'd be amazed, man. You'd be amazed. A lot of guys and women, they forget that they're in another country, so they lose the entire common sense and how they themselves. There's a comment right here. I wanted to get your take on it because you definitely an OG in the travel game. This is from Marty. A lot of these new traveling bros have such a low regard for women. It's like they hate them. What do you think about that?
I mean, just from the stigma of being
such a low regard for women, it's like they hate them. What do you think about that?
Right, it's just the stigma of.
Just from the.
Hold on, man. Let me mute this up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Phrase that question one more time because I had something in my mind.
This is from Marty. He basically said a lot of these new traveling bros have such a low regard for women. It's like they hate them. And okay. I could comment on that, but I'd rather have you.
I can see that as well. And I've been on a lot of different Facebook groups for traveling. Right along with being in your group and a No Excuses group, and and there you will see a big divide, not only generationally, but belief-wise when it comes to red pill community, manosphere, black manosphere. There's a huge divide on what's really going on overseas and what is acceptable and not acceptable when it comes to handling your business while you're over there.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's a sad situation that we know how to be respectful to a certain extent here in the United States, but when you go overseas, you lose your freaking mind.
Yeah.
Act like you've been there before, at least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Please act like you had some ass before. Are you kidding me? And if this is your first experience of actually being exposed to that type of life, where have you lived up to this point? This can't be your first time ever walking to a strip club, seeing a woman out in the street, or even exchanging money for sex. You know, it just it comes down to home training, but you got a lot of people that wasn't raised in a proper way. I had to put it there.
Yeah, you said something that made a lot of sense. How within the Black men travel segment, there's multiple smaller subculture within the Black travel
Correct.
movement,
And
and you have,
we both discussed this before in several
yeah,
other forums where we're at different levels. You're at 40, I'm at 54, and we show a different side of traveling versus maybe the younger crew that is all about just going out there for
yeah,
hitting as many chicks as they can and you know putting notches on their belts. You know,
yeah, and again, I think it goes back to what you said again because it was such a profound statement in regards to like the subgroups. But at the end of the day, no matter what you believe in, either be red pill, black pill, purple pill, traveling for culture, traveling for mongering, still be respectful in general.
right?
Respect the laws, respect the people, and show kindness, man. Again, we're just visitors, but a lot of us tend to forget that, especially after we have a few drinks and we banged a couple of honeys here and there. You feel cocky now, so you feel like you can do anything you want. And the thing is, I've seen a lot of guys get checked by locals. I've seen it like right in front of me, and it's just like either you're gonna get checked by the local dudes or you're gonna get checked by the cops. But either way, you're gonna get checked.
Exactly.
And guys, keep always remember the locals are not your friend. Majority of them are not your friend, especially you don't have any type of relationship with that person. Look, at the end of the day, they're gonna take care of their own. They're gonna look after their own. So if you thinking that I got Carlos, he got my back. No, he doesn't. He's with you right now because he's providing you a service. But once that service is rendered, he's gone. And
Very
again,
true.
you have a lot of guys just traveling, just not giving a F, and they feel like they can just do whatever they want. I've seen dudes literally cuss out, women, put their hands on women, like literally trash the Airbnb for no reason and just walked out. And now there's growing cases where dudes like will literally, of course they hired entertainment, you know what entertainment is, and they will
Right.
walk out without even paying. Like so, and the thing is, these WhatsApp groups, as much as that men have these WhatsApp groups, the women have WhatsApp groups, and guess what? They're sharing your picture around. They're
Yep.
talking smack about you. So you think you're doing something because you got a picture of them. They got a picture of you.
The whole thing is you're in a whole nother country. It ain't like you can just run around the corner and be gone and you will never have to worry about that again. You still got to get out of town.
Yeah. And the
You
thing is,
know.
these women know where you live. You don't know where they live.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with a lot of guys, they move kind of sloppy where they have no security where they're staying at. So you're leaving yourself wide open.
Wide open.
And
I mean, we had a thing where, like, I even had suggested this on a forum at one point is, if you're worried about getting robbed or something shady, you should have a backup, like, seedy hotel that you can go to for 40 or 50 bucks, get your sex on, part ways with a little girl, and then go back to your real Airbnb.
Mhm.
That way, if you get knocked over your head, you only get knocked over your head for what's in your pocket. They can't steal everything out of your room.
Yeah.
Because they don't know where you live at. They're thinking that hotel is all you got. That little cheap hotel.
Yeah. And with the growing drugging and robberies that's been going on in Colombia, it's funny, you don't hear a lot of women getting drugged, but you sure hear a lot of dudes getting drugged. And
Yeah.
again, guys, you are the target. So when you think you're walking around, you're doing your thing, showboating, attitude, flexing, people are watching you. Even the little kids are watching you because guess what? Those little kids are the watch out kids.
Yep.
And trust me, they're gonna run back to their bigger brothers and bigger cousins and say, hey, we got a lick. We got a potential. And the thing is, when you draw attention to yourself, especially being extremely disrespectful, someone's gonna come to you and they're gonna talk to you. Either be the police or be the local, and trust me, they're gonna get in your pockets.
I mean, I think we travel the same way. We look at environments of where we're staying, if there's security around. You know what I'm saying? Is the Airbnb have a gated, guarded security at the gate before anybody can get in? I look at those things before I go to another country. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't just go for the lowest rate hotel that's possible for me to be able to stay longer. I want a quality stay, but I also want a safe stay no matter where I go.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Whenever I talk to a newbie, I'll have a conference call with them, and I'll let them know, like, listen, man, where do you? I ask them, where do you live back home? Or I live in a gated community, or I live in an apartment complex. Okay, you have security there? Yeah, I feel safe. So why would you put yourself in a situation where you don't feel safe just to save $1?
Right.
And they realize, like, yeah, you're right. And so yeah, you want to stay at a place where there's security, 24-hour security. But also,
Exactly.
you want to know if anything were to happen, you already you already proofed your apartment by hiding your passport if there's a wallet, or just finding, like, undisclosed areas where people could just go ahead and just hide their things.
Bro, and it's a deterrent because here's the thing. If I'm bringing a chica back to the room, even if it's my Airbnb, guess what? When I walk past security, I'm asking her to pull out her ID so security can record her being processed into the property.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Well,
she can check out with security as she's walking out and I get her Uber or whatever. At least I know somebody else has got some identification on this chick. So if something does go down that's shady where I get drugged and she winds up leaving on her own, we got some kind of identification on it.
yeah, and one thing too, I always tell guys, tip your security.
Mm-hmm.
$20 to you may not be nothing, but $20 to them could be something.
It's huge because how many people actually do it?
Yeah. So, like, whatever you stay, like me personally, wherever I stay, I'll definitely give a $20 tip or $40 and let them know, hey, I'm going to be here for the next 3 days. Please, if I have any issues or whatever, please, handle it for me. And guess what?
Right.
They handle it for me. I don't have to worry about it. If someone try to threaten me or whatever, I call security. They'll come up and handle it.
I mean, and that's building rapport, man. I don't know how many relationships I have with people that I've stayed in their Airbnb, between the owners of the Airbnb, the managers of the Airbnb that come and check up, because some of the owners aren't even in town. They're in whole nother cities.
Yeah.
So I actually have contacts where they can hook me up with properties whenever I come back into town. That's what you do. You establish relationships, to where people can hook you up. And yeah, I even had a couple guys where I had a chick with me and she wanted to smoke a little weed. He hooked her up.
Yeah.
I knew it was safe that way. There wasn't gonna be no repercussions.
I remember one time I was in Cartagena. I saw a bunch of brothers, 2 in particular, were walking around smoking weed.
Just out in the open like that.
Out in the open. And this was at the clock tower. I'm looking at them like, bro, this is illegal. At the time, I'm not sure what the status is now, but at the time, that I knew that was illegal, and dude was just puffing. And I'm like, man, you know what? Let me distance myself. I walked further away from that group. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be associated if anything happens. And again, people forget the common sense that comes with them when they travel overseas. I guess because they're super anxious that, they're overseas, they see very attractive women, everything's super cheap. So they feel like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and ball out, make it rain, and just do whatever I want. But by doing that, you're being very, distasteful. And people talk. The locals are talking.
Believe me, they are.
So, I mean, you seen the video. I mean, what are your take on that video?
I actually didn't watch the whole video. I just came in after the fact.
Actually, let me put it up for you guys.
All right.
So you can see it again. Oh. All right, first, maybe you could comment on this video. You seen this video before?
No, I didn't even watch it. It's frozen because I'm not seeing it move at all.
You never seen this video?
No, it's lagging for me. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix some things that's going on with my computer.
Oh, maybe because I'm showing it in real time. Because I'm showing it in real time, it's probably lagging on your end.
Reconnecting anyway.
All right. This video. Okay. Can you see this video here?
Hold on. Yeah, I see it. Got rid of that.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to disconnect and come back in because
Okay. Go ahead. Are you there?
yeah, I'm gonna have to reboot. Something's going on where I'm not logging out of anything right now.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead and reboot. So
Yeah,
I can.
I'll be right back.
I got some comments to read. Now, this is a comment from Brett. Always get an Airbnb with 24-hour security and always cheek-proof your apartment before bringing a friend or guest over. I totally agree with that. One of the number one thing I always tell my guests, my travelers, is that whenever you get a place, make sure you get a place that has security. Make sure you get a place that has a safe, and always secure your items, your passport, your phone, your documents, your cash, your jewelry, before you invite any guests. So, I know sometimes we like to drop our luggage and just go hit the scene. I recommend that you go back to the place, chill for a little bit, get familiar with, what's in the area as far as your room or your house, and start putting things away areas where like the possibility, there's a smaller probability that someone will find it. So when you do that, you're protecting yourself. But I know guys who just check in, leave all their stuff on the counter, their wallet, their documents, wide open for them to get robbed. So, guys, as you continue to travel, make sure, take your time. Trust me, you're there now. There's no need to rush out of the house. Make sure your things are secured and you proofed your apartment where if anything were to happen, no one won't steal from you. Another comment from Brett. Yes, sir, most definitely. I always tip security. I just came back from Rio, Brazil, and I had a blast. I agree, guys. Sometimes you think that little $20 may not be anything to you, but it means a lot to them. So by you tipping the security guard, you get that extra added protection. So if anything were to pop off in the complex, the security will handle it. And also too, just be kind to your security because they're the ones that are gonna have your back. If someone threatened to call the police on you or threatened to get somebody on you, the security will make sure that hey, you're protected. So guys, yes, $20 may not mean nothing to you, but it could mean a lot to someone else. So always tip your security, especially at the apartment, because again, they're going to be the firewall between you and bullshit. So always remember that. This is another comment from Marty. You got ninjas going to Colombia who can't even spell Colombia. That's what things are going to. That's when things are going in space now. Yeah, I think a lot of people always say Columbia, South Carolina, and not Columbia, the country. I agree with you. I do have a tendency to check, correct people on that spelling. Hey, you're back.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Great.
I bet.
Yeah, so I could try again to show you the video.
It should work this time. For some reason, I was having lag when I got kicked out the first time. I couldn't see myself. It was just lagging in the background.
All right. Just put yourself on mute when I play it.
Señores y señoras, lo que vemos en nosotros
Did you see it?
Bro, that is flipping ridiculous. And I'm talking, you're in a city circle down there.
Yeah.
Seems like you're on a very busy street. You're not in a condo somewhere on the 50th floor or some crap like that. You literally are one floor above the street.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I said. Actually, I found the location. That building is literally on the main walking street right near the clock tower. So there's tons of traffic coming in and out of that area. So, and during that time, there were still families and tourists walking around, as well as locals walking around. So they were able to actually see that. And based on I was told, like, the girl was loud and they were just going at it.
Mm. I mean, that's the thing. When we're on vacation, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody around us is on vacation too.
I agree.
You know, they're conducting everyday business while you're doing whatever you're doing. You got to be respectful and aware of different things that are going on around you. You can't be so oblivious to life that you feel like you can just be buck wild 24/7, 365.
I think people tend to get that super juice in their system, so they feel like they could just do whatever they want without understanding there's consequences to your action.
Mhm.
So they feel the need, hey, I'm going to live this life, especially right now. You know, everybody want to have sex on the balcony. That's like the hot topic right now on social media, being on someone else's balcony. But I'm like,
Yeah.
if you can do that, there
Don't make
are
the brothers look good either. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it doesn't
'Cause
look
now
good
it's
on
all
them.
about, us going over there to monger. That's the only reason we're going over there, just to embarrass ourselves as black men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the perception we have now. Like,
Exactly.
if you talk to any person why black men are traveling, we're traveling for sex. That's the perception that we have, and it's just like, when guys continue to show this type of content out in the public, it's just not a good look for us because, again, I mean, unless you don't care, which I don't care, but still the perception is still there. So whenever you
Oh,
tell
I
someone,
care.
hey, whenever you tell someone, hey, I'm going to Brazil, I'm going to Colombia, I'm going to DR, they always give you that side eye. It's
Right.
like,
Well, I know what you're going for.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, so it's like, it's kind of funny because I remember one time I was talking to a Dominican here in the States. I said, yeah, I've been to DR. And she looked at me sideways like, where? I said, so I named all the city except Sosua. I was like,
For Marines, it was the Philippines.
okay.
If we went to the Philippines, you knew shit got down and dirty.
Mm,
And that's all they would look at you side-eyed to know. And especially
Yeah.
if you met another Filipino back in the States. Oh, you
Yeah.
been to the Philippines? Oh, yeah, I've been there like 3 weeks straight. They
Yeah.
kind of twist their head at you like, uh-huh.
Like whenever I talk to a Colombian or Brazilian or Dominicans, I've been to those countries several times. I always name the non-touristy cities. Like, yeah, I've been to, Constanza, I've been to San Juan. Like, oh, okay. I never mentioned that. Like, I've been to Sewell, I've been to Copacabana, I've been to Medellin. It's like, like, yeah, I know why you go
Right.
there.
And that helps you
So,
out too, because some of the local girls that are actually good girls, they want to hear you out there doing everything, next to God.
yeah,
If you're naming those off the wall cities, and they're like, okay, this guy could be quite respectable.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this.
You'll miss out on some really good women messing around with the lower class women that are out there selling it.
Say that again. Can you repeat that again for the people in the
You are
back?
missing out on some good quality women by the company you keep. It's the same thing in the United States. You know who's for the streets, and you know who's a quality woman. A quality woman is looking at you running around with the girl for the streets. She ain't gonna want to deal with you. You
Wow.
carry yourself a certain way, you're going to get a higher class of woman. You carry yourself the other way, like you want to be back on the streets. Guess what? That's the kind of woman you're going to attract. You attract who you are.
Yeah. So what would you say for the guys that say, you know what, hey, I'm just living my life, I'm doing me. Why you hating?
Had nothing to do with that. You can do whatever the hell you want. I've been there, but it's like when things go down in Vegas, it stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Don't bring no video evidence back, bro. Don't film it. Don't put it on the internet. Don't do shit. Keep it to yourself.
I think it's more of a generational thing because everybody wants to record and put it on social media. So it's like they want to capture every moment
Exactly.
of their travels. But I'm a strong believer that there's certain things you don't need to
You don't need to put on social
you don't need to
media,
put
and
on.
social media is a front anyway. You don't know what the issue was for that person to make it to the point where they're at with that glorious, perfect shot. You don't know how many headaches it took to get there. But
Yeah,
all you're doing is showing the positive side of whatever the hell you're doing when you look at social media. Nobody shows the negative side of anything,
I agree.
especially in social media. So it's all perception. You know,
It- it-
everybody wants to floss like they got it all. They ain't got it all. They struggling just like everybody else is struggling.
it's kind of interesting how, like, like especially within the black travel groups, they show everyone living the life, but they never show like folks that been robbed, that been drugged. They never
Correct.
admit they never admit that they've been scammed. But they only show like, hey, this is the life that I'm living. But they never really show as far as like, okay, someone did scam me, someone did drug me, robbed me, I almost got killed, in a car accident. They never talk about those things. So it's like
Right.
they try to sell a story or a level of excitement, like, hey, this is the life that you want to live, when really it's just a vacation. You're gonna have to go back home and deal with your issues or whatever you're running away from or taking a break from. You will
Right.
have to go home in due time. But while you're there, again, get it in, enjoy yourself, but be respectful about it.
I think digital nomads handle a lot better because they're used to it. Like I said, it's a sense of knowing that you've been there before versus losing your mind over the first time of ever experiencing something like that. I don't care if it's the first time or not. Act like you've been there.
Yeah. And,
And a
and-
lot of us, if we were in sports, it was always act like you've been there before. Don't act, stay in control. Playing sports is all about control and being in the moment, but at the same time, you can't lose it.
what would you say
I get more friends. I make more friends abroad by just being open enough to say hello to people
Yeah,
while I'm
me too.
walking through a mall. And if I get somebody to, say hello back and show a little interest, hey, I'm new in town. There's some places that I can go and see what that person's into. It doesn't have to be about finding a pro to get some ass.
But you know what? Again, everyone have their own unique agenda and why they travel. I mean, for me, someone like yourself and me that have been traveling for quite a while, I'm not as anxious as I once was before. And now I'm more like the chill, relaxed guy. I'll say hello, keep it moving. But also too, if I see a group of dudes just acting stupid, if they going left, I'm going right. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be associated with them. And it's just like, even like if I go to a venue, I know there's just a lot of brothers in there. I may go ahead and grab a drink, but I'm not planning to stick around too long because I know that's that level of competition. Even overseas, fellas, that competition is still there. Where
Yep.
guys feel like, they could, say something slick to you, or they feel like, they have something, they have a one up on you. And it's just like, bro, we're on vacation. Or we're away from seas. There's no need to carry that attitude with you. Because
Right.
there's been plenty of times where I've been to a venue. I remember one time in Cartagena, I was inside a club. This dude's posting up on the bar, and I'm like, I'm trying to order a drink. He's just standing there. I'm like, dude, you're not even drinking, man. You could move. And it's just like he kind of looked at me like, like he wanted something. I'm like, bro, it's not that serious, man. I just want to grab a drink. But it's like he carried that same mindset from the States to Colombia. And the thing
And he
is, if I
probably
was,
stayed alone the whole day because he was not approachable.
yeah, he was by himself, man, smoking a
Yeah.
hookah. And normally, if you're smoking a hookah is more of
A
it's a,
social thing.
a social thing, not a solo thing. So, dude, all sized up against the bar, smoking a hookah by himself. I'm like, bro, that's why no one's not talking to you. You think you carrying that mean mug personality, like, wait, I could just post up and you can't talk to me this way. It's like, bro, a local could say and do to you whatever they want, and you be missing. But that's the mindset that a lot of brothers carry sometimes. Like, yo, you overseas, man, say what's up to the next man.
You
You
got
never
two
know that.
choices. You can be hospitable, you can be friendly, or you can walk away.
Yeah.
But don't think you can fight the whole country,
Oh
because
no.
believe me, it ain't gonna be a one-on-one fight.
No, no, no. Trust me, the local got cousins all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes not even cousins, his friends, his neighbor may jumped in.
Yep.
But the guy again, guys, you need to realize how you conduct yourself in these countries. There's no need to carry that macho, I could beat your ass mindset overseas because they'll probably shoot you before they fight you. And three is just like you said, Alex, act like you've been there before.
Right.
And trust me, people know when you brand spanking new, just the way,
Oh,
just the
they
way
see
you
you coming through the door.
yeah.
See you coming through the door, down the street, around the corner. You know, I'm not a small dude either. I'm 6'2", you know, 285 pounds. I'm not a small guy.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna run up on me. But at the same time, I stick out like a sore fucking thumb.
Same here. Same here. I always stand out. Like even in El Salvador, I stood out a lot in El Salvador. I was like, damn, I'm a giant around these people.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I just had to have this video, man, just to talk about this fuckery that happened this past weekend on
That's
Friday.
pretty much what it is, fuckery.
Yeah, and it's just like I think more to come. More people gonna actually do that. They're gonna try to live out their fantasies. And I think you're gonna hear more repercussions beyond paying a fine. I think you're gonna hear more people getting drugged, more people getting scammed and getting robbed.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to
And those are the stories that really need to be shared. And just to go along with what Marty was saying in the comments, they make fun of people that are being scammed and robbed. I don't. I really don't. I think the word needs to be put out on several group chats so that people understand. And some of those family Facebook forums, they actually do let you know there's certain things that are going on in certain towns around the world, which is good to know. And if they have pictures of the girls, they'll be putting them up.
yeah.
Staying connected is the one thing that is really important when you're overseas. If you're going by yourself, you need to stay connected with some brothers that know what the hell is going on, whether it's just online or not. You know what I mean? I have a brother right now that's been in contact with me. He's in Manila, started off in Cebu. I'm like, what the fuck made you go to Cebu? There ain't shit in Cebu. He had some little girl that he was corresponding with, got stuck in Cebu for a while. He was like, it's dead here. I said, I could have told you that. Well, I'm going to head to Manila. I said, well, if you're looking for fun, you need to go to Angela City.
Yeah.
It just depends on what kind of fun. You can go to Manila, but, Angela City's right there too. But I usually hung out in Subic Bay because Subic City and Olongapo was right next to the naval base that was over there before they closed it.
You have a lot of guys that think that they could do it on their own. It's like, well, I'll figure it out on my own. It's like, well, if someone's willing to take the time and tell you, give it advice, take it. I mean, all you could do is just take it for a grain of salt and at least be more knowledgeable of what's going on around you, especially within these countries. Don't go with that blindsided, like, hey, I'm here, I'm
I tell dudes all the
outside.
time, do your research first. Do your research. Don't wait till the last minute while you're there trying to do some research or try to ask somebody for. You should already know the spots you want to see, what you're going for, and the places you want to move to, because you should have already done your research before you even got on the plane.
I agree, and I've said this many times to a lot of brothers. It's like, listen, man, don't just show up, I'm outside mindset. Plan if the type of experience you seek is what you plan for. So the more planning you put into your travel experience, the better it's going to be. The least amount of planning you put on your travel is going to be shitty experience. I have guys who just showed up. Hey, I'm here in Colombia. I'm here in DR or Brazil. Where should I go? It's like you didn't bother to do your research beforehand.
You do your research. You didn't make some contacts with brothers that were already in town that could have hooked you up at least. You could have took them out to dinner to have them hook you up with some knowledge. Pay for some information.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's how you make friends. Sometimes, hey, man, I value your time. Why don't we have dinner and you can show me around the town while we have dinner, my treat.
I've done that plenty of times. I invited guys to dinner.
Right.
And even drinks, like, hey, guys, don't worry about it. Drinks on me because you kind of set me up right.
Right.
Me for this.
And then they already know locals, so now they're going to cue you into some of the local girls that they've already taken the time to get to know. So then if they're introducing you to them, then their friends are going to be more comfortable with you than you having to go and find a pro.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's all about working your network, and I know us guys, we're used to doing marketing. We've run businesses, we've run organizations where we know how to use rapport building. We know how to use different things from our business life when it comes to taking advantage of resources, and other people's time, but pay for it. Take them out to dinner, have him bring a couple girls that, that he knows that might want to have dinner with us, and then that girl already has the sign off of him and her friend. Then I'm somebody trustworthy.
It goes back to traveling. There's different levels. I mean, you could be on the ignorant. I could do whatever I want.
I've always been work smart, not hard.
Man, that's the philosophy that I stand by. And even my two sons, they know what that means. Yeah. I've been telling that since they were babies. Like work smart, not hard. And it's just like leverage people around you, network.
Right.
And the thing is, you'd be amazed how that will get you far. And
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
Especially in other countries. Especially in other countries. It's who you know.
And
that
now
can get you next to everybody.
A lot of brothers are getting passport, which is awesome. A lot of brothers are starting to travel, get the taste of the traveling life, which is awesome. A lot of brothers becoming more digital nomad, which is awesome. But never forget, network and conduct yourself accordingly.
Right.
Don't ever think that you're invisible, because you're not. And the thing is, just like, just be mindful how you carry yourself. Things you wouldn't do at home because you will get arrested back home. Don't do it overseas. And show everyone with respect. No matter what the profession is, I don't care what the profession is, show respect.
Right.
And you're not above anybody because you have $1 in your pocket.
Right.
But I want to close it out. I mean, any last word for you, Alex? I really appreciate you jumping on.
I mean, like I said, when we first got on, or when I first got on, it's more about having some decorum.
Yeah.
Having a code of ethics and morals when it comes to you traveling. Carry yourself with some pride of being not only an American, but a Black American, because here's the deal. Social media and the media as a whole has portrayed Black men as being everything but good.
That's true.
This is your first opportunity to show them that you're not. You're not what they say you are. You're a whole lot different than what they say you are.
Yes.
Okay. So that first opportunity is your last opportunity to break the stigma of what the media has projected to the world of who we are as a people. So, yeah, I know you don't want the responsibility of feeling like, oh, I got to worry about, I got the weight of the black men on your back, but you actually do.
Yeah, you do.
Because it only takes one of us to mess up before it perpetuates itself throughout all of social media and everything else. That here, yet another Black man is out here doing something stupid in another country, trying to get a piece of ass because he couldn't do it in the United States. And that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
but that's the way they'll make it sound.
You're right. I mean, I always carry myself, like, even domestically, to represent Black men, and just to let them know, like, there's different classes of Black men, even overseas. So it's just like, for me, I'm always smiling. I'm always saying thank you. If I'm in a position to help somebody, I'll help them. Like, there've been plenty of times, Alex, where I'm at a supermarket, whoever's behind me, I may say, you know what, I'm in the mood of giving. So I'll just say, you know what, I'll tell the cashier, I'll take care of their groceries. So I'll just stand there, and the lady doesn't know what's going on, and the lady is scanning their food or whatever the total amount is. The cashier will tell the lady that he's going to pay for it.
And I'm sure because of your approachability like that, I've been invited to people's houses for dinner.
Yeah.
That I just met on the street.
Yeah, I've been there. In Cuba, I was invited to someone's house for dinner. I was like, oh, that was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're standoffish like old boy with the damn hookah, you're never going to see any of that. You're always going to have a bad time when you travel. You're going to say it's not worth it, and woe is me. I can't get what everybody else is saying they could get. It's got to be a lie.
Yeah, I
But
totally
that's
agree.
about it. Man. I appreciate you letting me come up. I appreciate what you're doing. Opening up a lot of eyes to the brothers that have passports and the ones that are just now getting them. It's a fun time.
Yeah,
You can take advantage of a lot of different situations because the American dollar goes a hell of a lot further in these other countries. But at the same time,
I,
brothers,
I'm starting looking at some
please
investments.
carry yourself with something.
Yeah, I'm looking at some investments overseas as we speak. And brother,
Hmm.
again, I'm super excited to see a lot of brothers get their passport. I mean, I'm from the hood of Miami. I used to live in Liberty City, and I'm glad to see. Honestly, I know people
Not
against.
only you from Miami, but go ahead and tell them you Haitian too.
Yeah, I'm Haitian. Yeah, I'm Haitian. Everyone knows stop by Simon. But I can relate to the Pookies in my way because I was raised in that environment. So
Hmm.
when I see a Pookie Ray with a passport, it's like, hey, I'm happy you got a passport, but bro, you're not back home. You're not back home. I mean, granted, I want you to experience something different outside of your block, and there's a lot of things you can see and do here, but again, you're not home. And like to every black man out there, just when you out there, you represent us. And I may not
Without a
know
doubt.
you, but I may not know you. I may not know who you are, where you live, where you're from. However, if I see you overseas, I will acknowledge you. I will say, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Are you enjoying yourself?" That's the type of person I am. But now, if you're on some foolishness, you're on some fucked up behavior, you think you're the shit, then guess what? I'm ignoring you. But I just want to see every black man win domestically and overseas. And there's no need to do certain things for attention or just to show everybody you're the man. Once you're overseas, you're just in a whole different level. Because again, not a lot of us have passport. I think less than 1% of black men have passports. And probably less than that is actually using it actively. So if you are one of the people who are active travelers, active passport users, kudos to you. Live that life, travel the world, have fun, do, fuck your fantasies. That's what an OG told me one time. Enjoy yourself, but yet just be respectful, carry yourself a certain way, and understand that your behavior reflects on us. You may not think not, you may not think so, but it does. So I just want to end this conversation today. I really appreciate Alex. I appreciate, like always, you jumping on. Um,
No
so,
problem, brother. It's always about different perspectives, and that's the whole thing. Generationally, we're only 10 years apart, but we have similar
yes,
ideas of how travel is supposed to be conducted, when it comes to setting an example,
I agree.
and hopefully the younger ones pick that up and understand it is a real privilege to see the world as it really sits and not just believe it from what you see on TV, but actually experience it. It's a whole nother thing when you experience a third world country. You will appreciate the worst of the worst ghettos in America when you go to a third world country that's really a third world country, okay?
And look, when I go back to Haiti, I'm grateful to live in the United States, regardless of the white supremacy, the racism, the
Right,
prejudice, the social classism. But you know what? There's no country in this world that I'd rather live in, knowing that I have opportunities to put myself in a better position. There's no other country you could do that. And again, I'm
right.
from Haiti. My mom was homeless when she had my brother at 13 years old. So trust me, I
Right.
got stories for
People
days,
right.
guys. I got
People don't
stories.
understand the stories that are out there and
And
and the great divide when it comes to even the advantages of the poorest people here versus the poorest people in the world.
And like that's why I can relate to people in the Campo area because that's where I'm from. I'm from Cape
Mhm.
Haitian, the countryside. I can relate. My mom telling me that there'd been days that she couldn't eat. She had to look through the garbage for my brother. My mother had
Mhm.
my brother when she was 13 years old.
We live in
Home.
a certain level of comfort that they will never be able to experience.
Yeah, and it's just like for me,
Hell,
I'm
running
grateful.
water in a lot of countries still like that.
I'm truly grateful, man. I'm grateful for this privilege for me to travel the world and do the things that I'm able to do after one generation from being homeless to doing traveling the world. Now my young son is doing coding camp. I mean, guys, I'm blessed. I have no reason to complain. All this here that I'm doing, I'm just passing the baton. Just like Alex is doing, he's passing the baton to y'all to actually, you know what, you could do this too. And again, and that's the reason why I created this platform. Look, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm never gonna claim that. This is basically a hobby for me. Share my experience with you guys, and grow the community of Black men having passports. But I also understand that I want to still teach you guys how to travel smarter. There's a lot of things a lot of people are saying about traveling. You need $3,000-$5,000 for a week of travel. You don't need that. And
That's ridiculous.
yeah, Alex, you'd be amazed the stuff that I'm hearing out there. I'm like, are you serious? And I want to teach you guys that. And also, too, I want to put you guys in a position to make more money. There's jobs out here that could increase your salary by $60,000. So, with that being said, man, again, I just wanted to thank you. I'm using this platform to start conversation, create opportunities for you guys to see what's out there. But also, I'm passing the baton to you. Like, I'm passing the baton for you to travel the world, enjoy your life, enjoy your money, take care of your health, and understand that there's more to life than our city block. And if you are traveling, conduct yourself accordingly. Conduct yourself as a respectable Black man that you are. That concludes my today's podcast. I got to get up early in the morning. And thank you for everyone. Thank you, Alex, like as always.
Appreciate
man.
you, brother. No, man, it's all you. You're doing a good thing. Continue on. Believe
Thank
me.
you.
I'm trying to get where you are. You my big brother right now when it comes to YouTube. I just
Nah,
started.
man, you know what?
But
I'm getting comfortable with this. At first, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I did it, I was nervous. And again, I'm used to presenting. I'm used to presenting and whatever. But
right, corporate
when
arena, no problem. Sitting in front of a couple hundred people doing a presentation, no big deal.
That's no big
deal. It's a little different animal,
But when you do the video, like I'm getting comfortable being in front of the camera now. It's like, okay, I'm home. So I'm practicing on that, but I'm starting to feel extremely comfortable where I can do this more often. But again,
I'm gonna cheat though. I'm gonna actually have like a sound designer, and I'm gonna do some high quality videos because I'm really looking for length of view versus quantity. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so I'm gonna put a little money into it, But I'm actually gonna do interviews. That's why I call it Ronin Travelers. From the old samurai warriors that don't have masters anymore, but it's more about different vets that decided to become expats and doing interviews with them. And I'm going to have the same basics 10 questions. I'm going to ask each and every vet why they decided, was it a money thing, different things about why they chose, even though they defended their country, to go and live in a whole nother country instead of coming back to America.
Right now, this is my page, Alex. I want to make some serious change. I'm changing the cover page, and I'm changing the logo as well. But right now I have about 770 subscribers. Again, this taking it serious after 3 months. These are some of the videos that I created. Of course, I have upcoming live streams.
Right.
And these are my videos. Right now I have a total of how many videos I have? I have 85 videos. Mixed with podcasts, actual travel videos, shorts. So again, I'm all about creating, good quality content.
Correct.
And again, I could host a podcast every single day if I'm in the mood, but sometimes I'm not in the mood, man. I just want to watch television and just chill out, especially after a long work day. But I'm definitely gonna grow this channel out. And again, hopefully, it picks up steam, but for now, I'm okay with the numbers that I got. It's like,
believe me, as I pick up some tips and tricks, I'll definitely pass them along, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. But again, like as always, thank you again. Appreciate everybody. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.